We are streaming live. We apologize for our technical difficulties. Our broadcaster completely took a dump.
We blame his ISP.
I don't know who to blame. Still telling me we're offline.
It's the
Blame
government.
The government.
Government.
Oh, no, loading video.
Ta-da!
Yeah, it's working now.
Okay, there we go. Technical difficulties. Yeah, that was really weird. It completely locked up.
You tried to go to light speed.
I guess.
Ludicrous speed.
You know what? Maybe I should stop broadcasting video and just run our logo. But switching channels on that was what happened. Okay, I'll just leave it on me. Weird, I tell you. Weird. Okay, we're back online.
You should know you can't try to do technical things while in the Falcon.
Never tell me the odds.
Hold on a second, let me just do this.
Never tell me the technical difficulties.
There, I got it working again. You have to see that in the live feed. Do you have anybody there that can't see anything right now on my end? It says we're still offline on the little thing on the bottom.
You're sitting in the Falcon as far as
I just saw you do the button pushing your lever.
Yeah, I smashed the side. Okay, so where were we? Force Awakens still on the Force Awakens. We haven't even gotten to Rebels and Rogue One yet. So, what else about Force Awakens? I can't be the only one talking here, guys.
Well, we finally saw a good look at that Sith guy's mask.
Oh, Kylo Ren. And
He's
Stimpy.
got to be. There's got to be a Revan connection there somewhere.
No, there can't be because Old Republic is not canon.
You really need to stop confusing Old Republic with being attached to anything that happened after A New Hope.
No, they
It's
came
canon.
out this week and said that it's not canon. The BioWare games are not canon.
They really did. That was an official announcement that it is not canon. It is not part of the
Okay.
Star Wars timeline.
Well, that's a little bit depressing.
Why would they need to make that statement? It doesn't
At
affect
least
the
CBS
movies
is
at all.
smart enough to go on record and say, "Hey, at least stow South Canon."
It could affect them depending on if they want to talk about the past.
Then all they have to do is contact BioWare and say, hey, give us your information.
Technically, they don't have to because it's already licensed. They have to license through Disney.
Yeah, it would be more like BioWare going, "What'd you guys change? What do we need to do?
Well,
What do we need to
the
do?"
point still stands. All they have to do is, make a call and say, hey, we're going to do this, this, and that.
I know supposedly that's not the Empire in the movie.
No. It is the restructured Empire.
It's like the First Order or something like that.
Looking at the questions and the answers, it looks like they're more referring to the Old Republic rather than Knights of the Old Republic.
Yeah, they're talking about the game, the online, the MMO.
Yeah, but
Okay.
not the two single-player games that preceded it and
I
kind of
don't think
sort of
so.
tie in.
Okay, in that
That's-
case,
So the Revan thing still stands.
So,
Though.
yeah. So Revan still exists because he was the protagonist of Knights of the Old Republic. But like the most recent expansion for the Old Republic, the something of Revan or whatever, and Revan's stuff in the Old Republic isn't canon. But because I'm not seeing any direct mention of Knights of the Old Republic, except for down at the very bottom where the person says, "I'd take Knights of the Old Republic 3 in the meantime."
Like that too.
Well, I mean, but if you read what it says while they're specifically discussing Old Republic, they basically say that BioWare's games are off in their own universe.
No, it says BioWare has created their own universe, and I'm pretty sure they're still referring to the Old Republic because it's specifically that's the question. Because Knights of the Old Republic 2 wasn't BioWare.
This is true.
wasn't KOTOR 2 Jade?
It was Obsidian.
No.
No.
Yeah, it was Obsidian.
I knew it was some stone.
Now, you know what gets me? Is they go through all, and if you go back through all of the games and all of the stuff that's laid out as the ancient past of the galaxy, there is a pattern that they don't seem to be able to break. There's always some sort of Empire versus the Jedi, or versus something. There's, it's just like the whole. I guess they don't read their own history. They are always doomed to repeat it constantly.
Well,
Right
there
up
was
to
a
the new
1,000-year
one.
break.
Right up to the new one. It's just like, okay, we had the Empire, and now we've got the First Order, who seems to just have taken over what the Empire had started.
Oh
guys
yeah,
hear-
I mean,
I
there was
don't
a
know,
1,000-year
some-
break though.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some articles were speculating that the order or whatever it is actually like what the alliance morphed into at some point. Like I don't know. Nobody's sure what exactly it is.
Did you guys see Carrie Fisher plant a kiss on that dude who came up to get his autograph?
Nope.
No, but I saw the awkward family photo.
Yes, but I guess some guy had done. He had said something that he was in the past. He was an extra. Or he did some work with her on her Broadway play, and he was supposed to get an autograph, and he never did. And he asked if he can get it now, and she's like, "Yeah, sure, come on up." And he came up and got up on stage, and he was trying to take a selfie with her, and she just lip locked him right there.
Surprise!
Surprise! She is an oddball. She really is. She's like Margot Kidder crazy.
No,
That's
I
saying
don't think
something.
she's that crazy.
She's a little off, but no, I don't think she's quite that far off.
She's pretty far off.
Now you know what makes me kind of sad is everybody was there aside from Harrison Ford. Even Billy D. Williams was at Celebration, and I realized there was bad blood between David Prowse and Lucas, but Lucas isn't there anymore. Why is David Prowse still being shunned and told he can't come?
Don't know. He must have done something though that really angered
Seriously,
everybody.
There
I
had
mean,
to be some other backdoor stuff. That
Well,
And it
we
makes
know
other people
we
off.
know Lucas couldn't stand him. For all we know, Lucas couldn't stand him to the point that Lucas had it written into the Star Wars sale thing that he had to be excluded from stuff.
it's a shame. I mean, it's kind of sad when I sit there. I mean, his feed on Facebook and on Twitter are nothing more than Darth Vader stuff, and I'm like, dude, you did so much other things, man. I mean, you trained Superman. You were in A Clockwork Orange, which was like one of the greatest cult films ever made. I mean, you did so much other stuff, and yet you're hooked on this Vader stuff, and it's like, okay, it's sad, and it's him just shilling autographs and stuff, and it's sad. Because I met him. I met David Prowse, what, 15 years ago? 16 years ago? I met him, Jeremy Bullock, what's his name, Kenny Baker, and a few. Like, when did they do the Men Behind the Mask tour? That was
I have no idea.
it's back in the 90s sometime. 90s? No, early 2000s. And I met him in New York, and I went through, and I got to actually talk with him and talk with Jeremy Bullock for a while, and it was kind of cool, just talking to him about stuff, and he's the man's a giant. It's freakish. He really is huge, and Peter Mayhew was there as well, and I've met Peter Mayhew more than once because he used to come to Orlando to the conventions, and again, man is massive. And what's really scary is the way they were sat up on their table was David Prowse, it was Prowse, Bullock, Mayhew, Baker, and Daniels was only there on Saturday. Anthony Daniels was there, but he wasn't there. I went on Sunday, so it's like you got all these you got this big dude, normal sized dude, huge dude, little guy, and it's like they all stood up to go to take a break, and when they stood up, Kenny Baker disappeared underneath the table. It was so weird. It was just like, whoa. But yeah, I find it sad that it's like, let the guy be Darth. I mean, he was Darth Vader, even though when you listen to stories about, I guess in Jedi, he didn't play Vader as much as he claims he did. There were other people underneath the costume because of his health.
I'd just like to know what's the deal.
Yeah, for real. He won't talk. People have asked him on his Facebook page, and he won't say it. He won't say any why.
Apparently, no one else will either.
Yeah, it's kind of a hush-hush thing, but it's kind of sad. Especially when you think that Darth Vader is probably the most recognizable villain next to the Joker ever created.
Makes you wonder, did he like punch, Sir Alec Guinness?
Oh, don't do that.
Well, that would certainly do it. It's like, you dare to punch Sir Alec Guinness. You are done. You
You know what? Okay, back to The Force Awakens, completely off that subject. something that got me in the trailer. The hand, there's that shot where the hand is touching R2, and there are rumors floating around that that's actually young Luke touching, like grabbing onto R2 for support, that something bad had just happened. And this is going to be our first Star Wars movie with actual flashbacks to younger versions, people cast as younger versions of the characters. Which I find really weird.
That is a little odd. I mean, I just remember seeing the hand and the arm attached to it. It's like, it doesn't seem like it would be, Mark Hamill's shape.
It looks a little bit more advanced, though, than the one that he was using.
Yeah, it was one, more advanced than the hand he was given, and two, the hand he was given already had synth flesh on it, but that one looks very, very cybernetic.
Very Vader.
He lost it again.
It's Anakin's hand. Maybe it's a flashback of Anakin.
Oh.
I don't know. I know there are supposedly rumors floating around out there that there's a flashback of Vader. There actually is somebody cast as young Luke Skywalker, so there's a flashback of young Luke and young Leia. So we are going to see flashbacks of other actors playing these characters.
Now that you said that, I think the flashback of young Anakin makes more sense than the flashback of young Luke, because that is a black robe.
Luke wore a black robe. Return of the Jedi, Luke's robe was black.
True.
Yeah.
Forget about that for a second.
Luke was going down the Skywalker path hard and heavy by Return of the Jedi.
Except when, he had the top part of the tunic open, you see it was light versus dark, showing he had turned to the light.
Yes. I am a Jedi, like my father before me. Now, a lot of people also read way too much into his reading of the line from Return of the Jedi.
My father has it.
Yeah, way too much. Mark Hamill even said, all I did was read what they gave me to read. Because he goes, that is not in the movie. That was me reading something for the trailer.
And he said, I kept screwing it up. I kept saying my father had it.
Yes. And my father had that. So, Vader's alive. Why would Vader be alive? What did Luke burn? Just the suit?
Well, supposedly, yes. I think there was one source said that his body actually did become one with the Force, and so all that was left was the suit.
Ah, so yeah, because he did become a Force ghost. Twice. Old man, young man.
Don't ask questions.
Misa all sparkly! Yay! Yay, Annie! Misa all sparkly!
Misa, love you! Oh, God.
Misa, love you! Yay!
Quick, Jar Jar, my man, before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
You know what?
Then blow it up.
I wonder if they're gonna have any Gungans in this movie.
Please no.
I don't have any problems with the Gungans as a whole. It was Jar Jar was just kind of the most annoying.
I like the general.
I've always gotten the impression that the only Gungan that's out, like, off of Naboo is Jar Jar.
If he isn't dead by now.
Naboo. Now, I wonder, now that they know who they are, that they are Vader's kids, and I wonder if they know anything about Padme as adults. Do they know anything of the history? Do they consider themselves Nabooans? Or from Naboo? Is that, like, home for them now?
I don't know if that's how that works.
I don't know.
But
She is a queen.
They could also be Tatooineans or whatever.
Yeah, they
Well,
call
technically they'd be Polis Mossans because they were born on Polis Mossa.
They're Kenyans.
Yeah, I was gonna say
they were born on a ship.
Aren't the Skywalker twins technically considered royalty?
Yes, but no, because royalty, the way the royalty on Naboo works is it's still an elected official. It's not blue blood.
That's true.
She's royalty through adoption.
Yes.
Yeah, whereas on Alderaan, if you were born into the royal family. Royalty.
Yes.
Now I know in the EU, like the Nogiri and some of the dark side people consider Luke royalty because he's his father's son.
It's not really that it was royalty per se.
It was a loyalty thing.
Yeah, it was more loyalty than royalty.
I'm just curious as to how they're going to tie Rebels into all this. Supposedly there is a character that ties it to Rebels.
Ahsoka!
She's going to die, dude.
She's a dead girl.
She is so dead. She has been marked for death the minute Vader showed up on that planet.
And the minute that she showed up in the show and was revealed as such.
Yep, she was so marked. There is no
You,
the premiere episode. I guess we're going into Rebels now. The premiere episode was shown, and I have read a synopsis of it. A spoiler-free synopsis to a point where they didn't give you any real details as to what happened. But in the trailer, which was incredible, it was actually just as good, if not better, than the Force Awakens trailer.
that was a damn good trailer.
When it's just like, okay, so you see the trailer, and they're showing Ezra and Kanan going up against Vader, and there is no way. Kanan could barely hold his own against the Inquisitor. The only reason he beat the Inquisitor is because he let go, and he skirted. If you watch that episode, he was skirting the dark side really hard on that last fight. He was like, yeah, there. It's like the Force. Yeah, but what side of the Force are you channeling right now, buddy? As you're like attacking.
Maybe he was using Samuel Mace Windu's fighting style.
Just
That's
remember,
true.
there is no light side, there is no dark side. There is only the Force.
Oh, well, okay, Qui-Gon.
And
Depends on who you ask.
we clearly get more Inquisitors.
Yes.
That's an aspect that me and Tank Tank are going.
From what the spoiler-free synopsis said, is that fight takes place in the first episode of the season. That's an hour-long episode, and Vader is all over the place, supposedly. Well, not supposedly. They say Vader, who was told that when they say Vader is not going to be in the show as much as people think he is, they said he was in that first episode a lot. And that battle takes place in the first episode. Now, it is such a given
Really?
just watching that, with Ezra getting the sword put to his neck and Kanan just not being around. You know who's going to save the day on that one. You know who's coming in with both her blades, and she's going to face her old master, and she doesn't know who he is.
I
Yeah,
think
'cause
when
his
she
fighting
starts
style's
fighting, she'll know who it is.
No, well,
No.
she might fighting him, but she doesn't. According to this, it's just like it plays out in a way where at the end of the fight, there are two people left with questions unanswered. One asking, "Who is this person?" and the other asking, "How is she alive?"
I don't know, the whole thing where they're talking about they haven't felt something like that since the Clone Wars makes me think she's got some idea of who he is.
It's a possibility, but just to watch Vader and Ahsoka as an adult. I mean, yeah, but I am 99% sure by the end of the second season, her death is going to be one of the catalysts that pushes things further along.
Yeah, she's not going to recognize his fighting style. It's completely different from what it used to be.
He
Might
can't do all the
pick him up
stuff he
through-
used to do.
Yeah, he's a robot.
Might pick up a little bit through the Force, but I mean, personality and the fact that he's, cloaked in the dark side at this point and fighting style.
Unless
She's gonna
I
have to
think
think
he'll
on that.
slip and say something.
Well, no, she's going to jump out in front of him, pull both her blades, and he's going to take a step back and go, "Snips."
Well, that's actually entirely possible if they
Completely.
keep with his moments of Anakin coming back. That happened a lot during the books and stuff, where he would have moments of he was not Darth Vader, he was Anakin Skywalker.
Not the kid.
He was Anakin Solo. He died unnecessarily.
All
story.
I know is I'm happy
Yes.
that we're getting more Hondo Onaka.
I'm
Yes.
so happy about Hondo coming back.
I'm more
That
happy
was
about
probably
Rex
my
coming
favorite.
back.
Well, yeah, that was like when that hit, when that voiceover started, I squeaked so loud I woke
Rex
up
and
my
Hondo
daughter.
are probably my favorite part of Clone Wars.
It's like the whole deal of them taking on an AT-AT with an ATS, or is it SATSP?
Hold on.
The little
Did it
ones
have-
from the Clone Wars.
And
taking
RT.
down
AT.
an AT-AT.
ATRT.
ATTE.
No.
All-Train Tactical
TE is the
Force.
big one.
Yeah, they had an ATTE.
Yeah, the
That's what
T.
They're
yeah.
using it as base.
He's got it's like a space Winnebago now. Look at it; it's all decked
I
out.
know.
It looks like Clark Griswold owns it.
What I want to know is like what happened with them with Order 66 and all that.
Oh well, they said Filoni said it, but he didn't say it out loud. He said it to a little girl, but it was kind of implied as to what happened. It's implied in the Fives storyline. And I guess they showed the 4 missing episodes with where Fives is alive. He's not dead. And the 501st, Rex, and a few others find the chip.
Oh yeah.
So they're kind of adapting, but not really taking directly from the Republic Commando and Imperial Commando books.
Yes.
They show that in season 6, don't they?
Yes.
Where they find
yes.
the chips and they take them out.
How did I not realize that Hondo's monkey lizard was named Piff Muck? Or Pilf Muck?
I don't think he ever said it in the show.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Just like you never know that Abba's was Salacious Crumb.
Yeah.
But everybody knows that that's Salacious Crumb now.
Just like
By this
Ewoks,
point.
just like Ewoks were never actually called Ewoks. They
They're
were
called
Wicket.
baby Wookiees.
And then there's Wicket.
Wicket W. Warwick. I wonder if
No,
the
but
Ewoks will show up.
Ewoks were called Ewoks on like the trading cards and stuff.
Yeah, but in the
Ma-
movies, they never actually named them.
Maybe they'll make the Great Ewok Massacre that was a drunken stormtrooper's story canon.
Yeah, 22 episodes we get next season of Rebels. And James Earl Jones voices Vader all the way through.
Thank
Which I don't
God.
mind.
Sam
mind.
Witwer voicing the Emperor.
I'm perfectly good with that. Because
Parkin's
have
gonna
you
be
seen
back.
his Emperor impression?
Yes. Oh, it's so good.
Well, I don't mind that they getting James Earl Jones to do the voice. It is kind of sad that they're not getting Chad Vader to do it, because Chad Vader does a really good James Earl Jones knockoff.
Did you watch Filoni's the Rebels junket they had there?
No.
Where they were talking about Vader, or talking about James Earl Jones doing the voice. I think it was during that. They were talking about James Earl Jones doing the voice and doing the voiceovers, and he kept stopping. He's like, "Am I doing this right?" And he's like, "Oh no, you're fine. You're perfect. Keep going." Like, I haven't played this character in 20 years, 30 years. No. But yeah, Vader. And I did like the way he said the only reason they'll bring characters back is if they actually move the story along. And bringing Rex, Ahsoka, and those characters into it, move them along. So it's like, I guess people are wondering, will we see Han Solo? Will we actually see the Skywalkers? Will we see other stuff like that? Will we see a young Leia, since they brought, what's his name, into it?
We've got to see Darth Maul at some point.
Maul?
Yeah.
How?
In Rebels, because Sidious kills Oprys and kidnaps Maul, and that's the last you see of him.
Well, captures him anyways.
Oh, that's right.
We don't know what happened to him afterwards.
I forgot about
That's
that.
what
He
I'm
was
saying,
hurt
so
at
we
the
should
end of
see him at
season
some
6.
point.
I forgot that Maul's still alive.
Well, it could have been that they were going to do something more in a season, and then all of a sudden, with the sale, everything got shut down, and so that plan didn't come to fruition. So now, who knows what they're going to do with him?
I completely forgot about Maul being alive, because I remember that
He
fight,
was hurt.
and that right there. Because when you watch the fight scene between Sidious and the Jedi in Episode 3, there is no way. You watch Ian McDiarmid, you're like, there's no way he beat 5 Jedi. There's no way. There's no way ever. Sorry, it's not going to happen. And then you watch the animated fight between Maul and Opress and Sidious, and woof. It's like, yeah, okay, this guy knows how to handle a lightsaber. He's like Yoda. And he's vicious in that fight scene. Wow, is he vicious?
Oh, yeah.
He's the Emperor for a reason.
Well, he basically just beats them down. Which also goes to the point in Episode 3 where Yoda said, no, Obi-Wan, you're not strong enough to take on the Emperor.
You know what? I'm just happy that I'm going to be able to bring my kids to watch a brand new Star Wars movie in the theater. Maybe. I don't know. I was 5. My youngest will be 4. And he is a Star Wars fanatic every day. Star Wars Rebels? Star Wars Rebels?
I don't recall actually seeing Star Wars in the theaters until the prequels, I think. I'd have to ask if I was actually
I
taken.
think the first one I saw was Episode 2 in a drive-in, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, I don't like this, because I was real young. And it was the
Ouch.
Episode 2, and it was the war scene that I started paying attention. I was like, nope.
Ouch. You're
So
you're
I
hurting
didn't-
my feels.
Sorry for being quiet. I
Yeah.
was actually watching the Rebels trailer because I actually missed it.
But yeah, I didn't get back into Star Wars and sci-fi until middle school.
Ouch. The feels.
Episode
I feel
5,
my age,
Episode
my
5 got
lumbago.
me.
At least it's not your
Yeah.
Winnebago.
I saw Star Wars in theaters.
This is not my kidneys.
I think it was July or August of 1978.
Just remember,
it was the re-release.
Stephen Colbert has been a fan longer than you by at least 2 weeks.
At least 2 weeks. Yes, he saw it in 77. I saw it in 78. But I can say the Star Wars I saw in theaters was not called A New Hope. It was not Episode 4, and it was not. It just went Star Wars, and then it just moved up and started with the crawl. There was no title. That wasn't added till 1981.
Because they didn't know it was going to surpass any expectations. They thought it was going to bomb.
They say that about every sequel.
No, they were talking about the first one, period. It's like, we didn't think it was going to work.
Now, you know what's funny is I don't remember that too much. I do remember seeing it, but I remember vividly seeing The Empire Strikes Back for the first time. I remember what theater. It was in Manhattan. I remember going to see it. I remember sitting down. I remember literally being shaking on how giddy I was that I was going to see it. And I remember, I don't know, there's some reason the scene where Luke walks through the tunnel in Bespin and it lights up sticks out in my head as scaring the crap out of me for some reason.
That was actually terrifying.
That
remember that as a
scene right
kid.
there, when that door shuts behind him, I'm like, whoa.
I honestly thought he was going to lose his ass.
I was like, oh my god. I remember it scared me. So yeah,
Because there was no music, anything.
Yeah, it was just he walked through and there was that hum. And Jedi, I saw Jedi in '83. That summer, I remember my grandmother dropped me and my sister off at the Fox Theater in Staten Island at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock in the morning. And this is back when you can just stay in the theater. And I think we watched Return of the Jedi 6 or 7 times that day.
Wow.
They didn't kick us out.
Dedication.
You just, oh, please. We were seriously Star Wars fanatics.
Well, you just literally stayed in your seat.
You just sit there. You just stayed in your seat. They came in, they cleaned up around you, and you just sat there. Different times.
Stewing in your own juices.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound disturbing at all.
Maybe it was only 4 or 5 times. We saw it quite a few times. We were there a lot. We were there for at least 7 hours. We might not have stayed the entire time the last one.
Nowadays, they basically stare you down. It's like, you're going to leave, right?
Yeah, I remember walking past the line for episode 1 because I bought my tickets online. Those people standing out there for days, and I bought my tickets that day. And they had a line. This is the line for people buying tickets, and this is the people who had tickets online. There were 6 people in the online one, and I walked right in. All these people sitting there staring at me. I was just like, got my tickets online. See ya.
Yoink.
You can do yeah, of course you can do that. It's the internet, man. It's awesome. It was like the boom time, 1999.
Just before Y2K.
Yeah, it was the beginning of everything. And I mean, come on, my roommate had Netflix, which was like the coolest thing in the world back then. Oh, you can get DVDs through the mail? That's awesome.
It was an age of wonder.
It was. There were startups everywhere. You could get a job in Manhattan working startup internet stuff, making $100,000 a year, and be broke the next day. Up and down, up and down. I remember that. It was ridiculous. I think I watched one storefront open and close 4 times on my way to work over the course of a year. We do this, we do that, and we're gone in 2 weeks. And we do this, we do that. We're an internet startup. We do this, and we're gone.
I'm sorry, but listening to you talk about that is reminding me about, certain parts of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. episode.
We'll get there. Now, did you guys happen to watch the Rogue One stuff that's been floating around out there?
A little bit.
I've read a little bit about it.
The trailer is, because it's a bootleg trailer, they never actually released the trailer, which is, I guess, using that term. It's not really a trailer, it's more of a hype reel.
Spoiler.
Because It has nothing. It has nothing to really do with the movie. It's just a digital planet with a digital Death Star hanging in the background, with some TIE fighters flying overhead, and then you hear like a whole bunch of people talking over their radios, jumbled, screaming and yelling and stuff. And I mean, it's impressive. It works really good, but it really didn't give you as to anything as to what's going to happen in the movie. It's just, the Death Star is part of the plan.
I've heard that there are no Force users in this movie at
No,
all.
that's one of the big deals is these people who were so used to having the Jedi protect them are no longer, the Jedi are gone, so now it's like, well, what do we do?
Kick ass and take names.
We grab our boots, we pull them up, and we go.
We kill
I ain't got time.
everything.
This is supposed to be where they steal the Death Star plan.
Yeah,
But I always thought that was Botvin's.
that was Death Star 2.
That was Death Star 2.
Also, it makes me wonder, and I really hope, will we see Kyle Katarn?
Oh,
It'd be nice.
interesting.
And
Doesn't he use a lightsaber?
he doesn't start off as a Force user.
That comes
that's
later.
Right.
He eventually learns that his father was a Jedi, right?
His
Thanks.
father was not a Jedi.
It's
But-
been a very, very significantly long time since I played any of the Jedi Knight games.
His father was Force sensitive and had a good friend, Q Ron or something like that. And he was the one who found the Battle of the Jedi. But no,
Now,
his father was not a Jedi.
So I can't.
I hate to interrupt, but who
Go ahead.
thought Bruce Lee Jedi was a good idea?
How's that
What?
not a good idea?
Look at the link I posted from the Star Wars wiki.
There are in various different, not now Legacy, obviously, various different styles of Jedi. Like a particular type of Jedi that was frequently associated with police patrols in Lower Coruscant who wore plain clothes and were proficient more with firearms than lightsabers.
Yeah,
Gun kata.
kind of, sort of, yeah. That their abilities with blasters was at the same level of skill as those with lightsabers.
Yeah,
Were they looked down upon by the other Jedi?
That doesn't really get into that detail, at least as far
Okay.
as I looked. But their skill was apparently so good with lightsabers that in a duel with someone using a lightsaber, that they could keep a lightsaber user at bay with a blaster.
Till it runs out of ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah, till it runs out of power.
I mean, I think that's kind of cool about Ezra's blade is that he has the
The built-in blaster.
It's not a blaster though. It's a
Oh, it's a stun.
It's a stunner or something.
whatever. Oh, what do the Y wings fire? It's not. It's
Ion.
Ion.
Yes.
Speaking of wings,
Stand by, ion control.
Yeah. It's
speaking of
Fire.
wings, that bright ass orange B-wing.
Ugh.
And where did those
They are
aliens come
introducing those
from?
way
A
too
wings.
early.
A-wings are supposed to be really old ships.
I don't think those are A-wings. I
No.
think no. I don't
What?
know.
Where did
No,
that?
aliens
Since
came in
when?
Hey! Alastair talking. The walking encyclopedia here. A-wings were based off an older design that was very, very similar. It's just they were updated with more stuff, but they looked very similar. I think that's what those are.
Well,
They're the blue
weren't
ones. They're the
A-wing-
original ones.
I was gonna say, weren't the A-wings? Didn't they take some cues from the old Jedi starfighters, though?
Yes.
Did.
Yes, and
The
to
R-22
the-
Spearhead looked very similar
Yeah.
to the A-wing.
similarly, the X-wing looking very much like the Z-95.
And the Headhunter. Oh, sorry, and the the ARC. Plus, there was something back in the Old Republic called an A-wing, and it was even more compact.
Yeah, but like them showing off the B-wing, that did bother me.
Yeah,
it's
I
a
like
real early
the
prototype.
EU version where Akbar helped design and build it.
I always liked the B-wing. It's a cool design.
Because
Yeah.
it's supposedly a Mon Calamari fighter design.
Well, we'll find out how it fits into the new canon.
Well, Akbar and Verpun.
Well, I mean, they did the same thing with the TIE fighter. The Inquisitor had his own TIE fighter, much like Vader, and now it's in the hands of the rebels. So
Yeah.
back to square one they go. And Vader's prototype.
Yeah, I feel like the TIE Advance that I liked that it went through several iterations. Because if I remember right, Darth Vader's had like a number attached to it. We've had this
X1.
conversation before.
Now, why are there no X-wings? Because X-wings are an older design. They're the successor to
old.
the
They're
they're the
not
successor to the Headhunter.
They're
They're
not
not out
that
yet.
old. They haven't been created yet. They come out just before A New Hope, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I know at times
'Cause
in
it
the
was-
EU, it's been implied that Incom created them specifically for the rebels.
They did.
What I've read is that it was Incom, but they were Imperial fighters. They were going to replace the TIE fighters.
It was
But
most
then the
likely
rebels stole the
a
plans.
offer.
from-
No, they stole more than plans. They stole the
Yeah,
first
they
initial
stole.
run.
Yeah.
There's a mission in one of the the Xbox, not the Xbox, the Nintendo
Empire
60,
War.
the Nintendo 64 Rogue Squadron game where you steal the X-wings, I think.
And there was an
Yeah, it's
X-Wing
similar
comic
in-
that actually has Darklighter and Wedge being, and Jansen actually. I think four of the original Rogue Squadron pilots were the ones who stole them. Flying out in that iconic sweep that was in the original Star Wars poster.
One character I want to see in either Rebels or The Force Awakens or somewhere along the line to be made full canon, Dash Rendar.
Yes.
Yes.
In Rebels, he would be an older teen. Actually, he'd be 20s, right?
Him and
Like
Ezra
early
get
20s?
along perfectly.
If Rebels takes place 5 years before A New Hope, that would make Luke Skywalker 13 years old. That would make Han Solo in about 20 years old. 20? No, we've already seen Lando,
Han
so
Solo
he'd be
would be
20,
like 30.
25.
Okay, here it is.
Yeah, but are Lando and him the same age?
I don't know. They never really said.
The
See,
Alliance.
I thought he'd be closer to 30 because Han supposedly went to the Imperial Academy.
Yeah,
The-
but look at how early they've started training people.
Very true.
The Rebel Alliance acquired the X-wing 1 year before A New Hope.
Okay, so we're not going to see X-wings. But obviously, we're going to see B-wings and A-wings. And
Which is weird.
Y-wings. Yeah, which is
Y
weird.
Wings, yes. Y-Wings
I
are
don't see
very
why they
good.
don't just bring the Z95 in.
They could.
Yeah, because that
probably
is a ship
will.
that would exist. The Headhunter, there's a few other ones. There's the,
V-Wings.
I thought the V-Wings was a Dark Empire thing.
There's two
No,
types of
it's-
V-Wing.
The Republic V-Wings.
I'll go back and watch the trailer, but actually, did they ever show the S-foils open on that ship?
On
which
the
one?
B-Wing?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so.
Okay. I'll go back and rewatch it after the show, but if they
That's
don't,
what was irritating for me.
if they don't, then it may very well just be a prototype because I think the B-wing was based on something.
It was based on the H-60 Tempest bomber.
You guys know way too much.
Hi,
Hi.
we're nerds.
Have you noticed Tank's username?
I want a skip ray gunboat.
To be fair, my username doesn't really give it away.
Well, you're not
You would
a
like
Jedi Master
technology,
Trainer.
though.
And yeah, I would actually like for them to show skip ray gunboats in.
I think you need to
Rebels.
change your name to War Machine.
Who?
Tank.
No, I can't do that. It's taken them long enough to get used to this. If I start changing things up, they'll just be all confused.
That's true.
That's
War
the
Machine.
point.
Yeah, and
And then
Tank
I'd
is
have
so
to
much
fit-
easier to say than just War Machine.
And then I have to find some way to fit into the armor, and that's
Iron
a
Patriot.
really expensive thing to get a hold of, especially the working one that the cosplayer God made.
And then we were to eventually change his name to Iron Patriot because it went over better with crowds.
You know, looking
Yeah.
looking at the H60 Tempest, it really could be what is in Rebels is just heavily modified. And, who
And it
knows?
would fit.
Who knows? Maybe Akbar's working with the Alliance because we know he's around.
Are you guys upset that Lando's not going to be in it? In Force Awakens?
Not really.
No, not too bad.
No,
Okay.
not that bad.
He could always come in on the second one. That's what happened last time.
Yeah. I am kind of cool with the idea. I like the idea that they're switching things around. They're getting rid of the whole, oh, look, it's got to be the dude. Nah, the main good guy is a girl. It's, what's her name? It's, oh my god, what's her name? There's Finn.
Rose.
No, Rose is an alien. What is the, oh dear lord.
The scavenger girl?
Yeah, she's the
Mandalorian?
main protagonist. Han Solo's daughter.
Oh, Jaina?
No, it's not Jaina though. They
Right.
completely erased Jaina, Jason, and Anakin out of existence. They do not exist. This is actually Han and Leia's daughter, supposedly. Rumors.
I think it's like Lay or something or Ray or something like that.
Rey. Yeah, there's Rey, Finn, and Poe.
I won't believe it until we actually see it in the films because we've been lied to before, IKF Abrams.
No, but he
True.
says he's.
I don't think
he
he's-
says
I'm sorry,
he's
IFK.
never going to do that again. Like,
No, I think what-
he regrets that so much.
Because he pissed off
Uh-huh.
so many people.
Right.
I'm never going to do that again. It's frickin' Khan! I was joking with Adam about that earlier, like last weekend. It's like he just needs, if I had a chance to roast him, I would totally roast him over that. It's like, you like acronyms and using your initials. We're just going to change it to IFK Abrams from now on instead of, LF Lens Flare Abrams.
Speaking of that, did you happen to notice that there were a few lens flares in the trailer?
It's severely
What?
toned down if it was, because I didn't notice as much. Unlike Star Trek where you can't miss it.
Oh god, it burns.
You mean Lens Flare, the movie?
Exactly.
Okay. This is, if this is accurate, the list of characters that we will see in The Force Awakens. Han Solo, Queen Leia, Luke Skywalker, Rey, Kira, Finn, Kylo, Poe, Rose, Chewbacca, 3PO, General, Uber, which is a acronym. We already know that that's not his real name. That's just the name they're using so they don't give it away, which could be Ravan. R2D2, BB-8. Where is it? What is the Stormtrooper General's name? That's the only name that bothers me throughout this whole deal.
Oh, the Chrome Trooper?
Yeah, what is her real name?
Gwendolyn Christie.
The one who plays
no,
Brienne.
the actual character's name.
Oh. I don't think they said.
Captain Phasma or Phasma. That bothers me. That
And here
bothers
I
me
thought
to
it
no
was-
end.
I thought it was going to be something like, Cuddle Bear.
Nah, it's like Captain Phasma. That bothers me to no end. I don't know why, but it just doesn't seem. It seems so made up. It's not right.
Would you like it if it was Captain Cuddle Bear?
Probably more than, yeah, because that would be ironic. I'm this clone trooper. My name is Cuddle Bear.
I'm
Corporal
probably more
HC
excited for her
Cuddle
character than any of the newer characters. Because her in Game of Thrones is amazing.
Oh, she's really good in that. Captain
And knowing
Cuddle
that
Bear.
she's playing an Imperial or a First Order Chrome Trooper, I'm just like, yes.
She's shiny.
Yeah.
From now on, she's Captain Cuddle Bear, though. I mean, she did try to cuddle a bear in the Game of Thrones, so.
Yep.
And honestly,
She also
I was going with
decided
an
to
old
hug a
army
hound.
joke.
Some of
Fluffy
the
bunny feet.
some of the fan reactions to the trailer are just, continued examples of like the lightsaber. Nothing they ever will do will make you happy. Yeah, one artist on DeviantArt did a comic where the X-wing opens its wings and then immediately nosedives into the water.
Splitting turbines is apparently a bad idea. Who
My-
knew?
And I kind of wanted to reply to that. Clearly, somebody doesn't know what a fission engine is.
But that
Yeah.
ruins the joke.
It does. Now, I'm curious. Now, since they have James Earl Jones voicing Vader in Rebels, do you think he will return for Battlefront?
Oh,
Good.
They could probably get Chad Vader for cheaper though.
Probably.
Probably.
But since they already got him in the recording studio, and you pay an actor by the day,
oh man.
Would depend on if it was in the contract or not.
that's true.
Okay, so I'm looking
like
at
that
the Rebels
segue
trailer.
right there. Did you like the segue?
So I'm looking at the Rebels trailer again, and yes, it is a B-wing. There are S foils on that.
Okay.
I-
Oh, that's getting rewritten then. I'm not too bothered by it, but
I don't.
I mean, there are worse things they could do.
I do like that. Obviously, the visuals look better. The visuals look a lot better in the second season. It just looks cleaner than the first season.
And Sabrine is dyed her hair blue.
Sabine.
I said Sabine.
You said
Sounded like
sounds
you
like
said
Sabrina.
Said like Sabrina, really?
Yes.
it's true. You did add an R.
I like the
Uh,
Ghost. I think the Ghost is a cool ship.
It's
I
a
like the
cool
Ghost,
Lego
too.
set.
I'm not sure, but I kind of get a hint that some point in season 2 they're going to get a bigger ship.
Vader's advanced tie is in it.
Yeah. And taking out some, I'm just going to call them R-22 spearheads.
Go ahead.
Taking out those R-22s and some of the blockade runners. But I kind of see, they showed a ship that looked very similar in design aesthetic to the Ghost, but much larger. Which makes me think they might be getting a bigger ship.
Well, I think it's interesting. Kanan wants nothing to do with soldiers, apparently.
There's some trust issues at that point. I've
Yeah,
got the
bunch
first.
of-
I've got the first issue of The Last Padawan, which is Kanan's story.
I have it too. I got it on the Marvel app. I haven't read it yet though.
Good artwork.
Finally reveal his original name,
Who's?
Kaning's.
I don't think they revealed it in the first one because I
They
don't
reveal it
recall
in the
seeing that.
synopsis.
I must
What's
have
his
missed
real
that.
name?
Let me look it up.
I was gonna say I have to get the book, and I don't know where I put it right now.
Damn it, boy.
What is with the double-bladed lightsabers? I'm getting sick of seeing them.
It looks like the Inquisitors all have mass-produced lightsabers.
Oh, the saber staffs.
I don't know. They just all have double-bladed lightsabers. It's like Darth Maul started something.
Personally, I like saber pikes.
Well, if one lightsaber is badass, two lightsabers is more, and if two is more, put them together into a single spinny blade of death is amazing.
You know what really ticks me off? Battlefront is going to be a PlayStation 4 game and not anything else.
Give it time.
Oh, it's going to be Xbox One too, and PC.
Okay, they are.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they are R-22s
Here we go.
because
It says
A-wings
Kanan,
have a distinct thing on the back.
okay, it says Kanan Jarrus in Star Wars Rebels. He's a cocky, sarcastic renegade fighting the Galactic Empire alongside a ragtag crew on the Ghost. Years before, at the height of the Clone Wars, he was known as Caleb Doom, Jedi Padawan under the instruction of Jedi Master Depa Billaba.
Yeah.
So his original name is Caleb, which I guess is where he gets Kanan.
I wonder why they changed it.
Well, he probably changed it, because
To hide.
Caleb Doom would probably show up on records.
Probably.
Don't want to be caught.
Well, and they've kind of implied that he may have fled the Order during the Clone Wars.
No, that's not exactly what happened so far. He was on a planet surrounded by clone troopers when the Order went out. So at that point, we'll see what happens in the next couple issues. Because they basically end it with Order 66.
Ooh, that's interesting.
So,
Yeah, all
Yeah,
the comics are tied into Rebels and the films, so
okay, last bit of Star Wars news because we could do this now for an hour.
I was getting ready to say that.
Battlefront. You guys watch the trailer for that?
Oh my god.
Now, I'm curious, as it says game engine, animation, and all that kind of stuff. Will it look that good when you play it?
On next gen computers, probably.
It's
Oh,
made
yeah.
by, it's made by Dice, and I've played some of their games. Some of their games are very pretty,
Oh,
Often-
yes.
often buggy, often frustrating. I think the last Dice game I played was. Hold on, let me bring up my game list here.
Would have been a
Oh.
Battlefield game.
It was a Battlefield. Where did it go? Oh, that's right. I don't have it on Steam. I have it on
Oh, Hardline?
No, it was Battlefield 3. There are little interactive sequences where you have to press either tap on your mouse or press certain key combinations in order to do an interactive cutscene. And if you fail, your character dies. And throughout the entire game, you never use your right mouse button until the very last one. And you have exactly 1 second to tap that button. So you kind of go, and then die.
Well then.
NPCs falling through floors. Shooting people in the face with a sniper rifle, and it doesn't do anything. Let's them know you're there, though. They tend to be very pretty. They're good games, but I'm still of the opinion that every Battlefield game is pretty much the same. They're rehashing a lot. Same with Call of Duty. The reason I like Call of Duty Ghosts is they added the addition of the dog. Being able to control Riley was kind of cool. That and pretty much one of the very last things you do in Call of Duty Ghosts is take over an orbital railgun platform and just bomb the ever-living shit out of South America. But it's okay, we're at war with them, and they
Because
started
screw
it.
South America.
Well, we're at war with them, and they started it.
Which country? The whole continent or just one country?
In the history, the whole continent of South America had pretty much been united into something called the Federation, and the leader of the Federation basically started ordering the imprisonment and execution of Americans, and that kind of sort of didn't go over well with America.
Which is kind of confusing considering they're South America, so are they capturing their own Americans or
Well,
the North Americans?
Well, us.
I know.
And,
yes,
welcome to
yes.
the stupidity that was when we decided to say, hey, we're going to be the United States of America.
Only we're not. But no, and it eventually comes to a stalemate. Then they steal one of our orbital platforms and bomb the ever-living shit out of us until we manage to destroy it. And then they build their own and we take theirs and basically turnabout is fair play.
Hey, Adam.
Yes.
Since we're still more or less talking about Star Wars,
Yes.
I think I just found something that you're just going to be envious of Japan for.
Oh.
I will say there is this really, really cool sequence in Call of Duty Ghosts that even though they're a different company, it'd be kind of cool if they emulate something like in Battlefront, where you are standing on the roof of a very, very tall skyscraper, and you launch a grappling hook across the skyline to another skyscraper, slide across, detach, and then rappel down the building. and do vertical combat.
Vertical combat.
Yeah, you're fighting on the side of a building.
This doesn't really work out.
So what you're saying is they're really good at making games.
DICE is really good at making games,
Okay,
and
good.
and so is the people behind Call of Duty. They're two different companies, but they pretty make very, very similar quality games. And I'll play it. I like.
Are they controlled by EA?
No, I don't believe the people behind Call of Duty are controlled by EA.
No, I'm at DICE Studios.
DICE, yes.
That's a Star Wars airplane, by the way, that is up on there. That's the
R2-D2 plane.
R2-D2 plane.
Hey.
Pretty cool.
Activision and Square Enix are the guys who do the publishing for Call of Duty. It's developed by Infinity Ward. Well, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, and Sledgehammer. And apparently at some point, Nokia.
Nokia?
Yeah.
Aren't they
Yes,
like Dutch?
They're listed as one of the previous developers.
Huh. Who knew?
Yeah. Must have been for that Nokia Engage thing that they had like 15 years ago. Which is weird to, think 15 years ago and it's still not the 90s.
Oh, okay. We should probably move off of Star Wars.
Talk about the Avengers, Agents of Shield, Confusion.
Oh boy.
There's a lot of confusion going on.
Yeah, I guess we just go
Hey,
straight
baby.
into it's just Marvel in general. Okay,
Go with it, Apple.
before we jump into this, did anyone? How far have you? Okay, Tank, you haven't watched any of Daredevil, right?
I've watched the first one and I really
Okay.
enjoyed that.
Okay. Cade, I guess we're still the only ones that have watched all the way through.
Damn it.
Yep.
Been busy.
Okay. I know. There is a throwaway line that I caught on a second viewing, and I confirmed it by looking it up a few places, that a certain last name of a certain lawyer from the Ultimate Universe, who is the father of a certain character in the Ultimate Universe, is mentioned by Foggy Nelson, saying he ran into this person.
Would you like to inform us?
Well, Foggy says he was delayed because he ran into Morales.
Oh!
And
I
in the
didn't
books,
catch that.
Miles Morales' dad is a lawyer.
Ah.
So they're gonna.
You're thinking they're going to go
yeah.
for that Spider-Man.
No, it's already been confirmed that it's Peter Parker that will be in Civil War. That doesn't mean Parker survives the Civil War.
It also doesn't say that, Morales, the father, is, not there. So if he is there, then bumping into him, this means he didn't bump into the kid, he bumped into the father, the lawyer.
Yes.
Which makes sense. They work in the same circles.
Yes, they do. I just thought it was kind of cool. I mean, it was just a throwaway line. And it completely, I was like, Morales. What do you know? Can't tell you what episode it was in. I just know it was there. But now we can start talking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. We can talk Age of Ultron, a little bit of Ant-Man, Joss Whedon's dislike of bringing Coulson back, Joss Whedon saying he was really excited to see Batman versus Superman.
There's apparently hate on Joss Whedon that he's not a feminist.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, there's a lot actually saying how much of a sexist he is, actually.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, I haven't caught any of that.
When Alsh gets back, we'll have to go into that part. But Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Good episode.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. What is going on?
Also, I think they should have renamed it when Mike Peterson shows up. Screw with him. that should be the title. If it's kind of like, Chief O'Brien from Deep Space Nine. Every time that he was the focus of an episode, he was being screwed with.
True.
It's Mike Peterson's luck. Every time he shows up, he gets screwed with.
Ah,
But that's dropping like a rock. Jeez.
yeah. You're right.
So, can I still reiterate my theory that the Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are Inhumans?
I don't know, man.
They're powered people.
Hydra's very interested in powered people.
Yes. I don't know if they're Inhumans, though.
Powered people, I think, is more of a general term that they're using right now because they're even saying that Mike is technically an empowered person. Well,
Yes.
Yeah,
he is because he was able to jump and jump.
the Inhumans line was used by Gemma one time, and that was just
Fitz, not Gemma.
No. So you get the point. Is one
Yes.
person said it, and it was just in reference to, what they've become. Well, what Sky has become.
Yeah, I mean, we know they're going to lead up to an Inhumans movie in 2019, 3 years from now. Obviously, they're going to play a role in the MCU throughout here and there. They called them Miracles in Captain America. I don't know. Sky technically is the first Inhuman we've ever seen on screen. Daisy, Quake, whatever you want to call her.
Followed shortly by Reyna.
Sky, Daisy, Quake.
Gordy.
Gordo.
Now, you know what's funny? I'm more excited to see next week's episode than I was for this one. This one felt like a long prologue for next episode.
Yeah. It was like a setup.
You know what's really sad is? The only character you felt sorry for the entire episode, you actually looked at in a good light throughout this entire episode, was
Cal.
Sky's dad.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
I felt
Cal.
so bad for Cal.
I
Because he
know.
was so happy.
It's
It
like,
was like a kid in a candy store.
yeah, it's like throughout the entire season, or first
cream
half of
store.
the season, it's like we see Cal. Cal is just psychotic.
And he still
then-
is.
And then this episode, it's like, wow.
He's
I-
almost normal, but there was those hints where
I
that's
do like the little again, the little Easter eggs they throw in, little tiny things. The vials in the drawer where they
Was
the
that-
hide form, the 3 vials of yellow liquid that were in the drawer when he got this, when he opened the drawer for
I'm glad I'm not
Or-
the only one who saw that.
Yeah, I was wondering what the vials.
he's Mr. Hyde.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
But that could be the Hyde formula. Maybe he's gonna go completely berserk and change. Ooh. Maybe because because they took Daisy. But he went with them. Never mind.
Yeah, he went with him. And
Doesn't mean he
jumped
didn't
in
pocket one of them. I don't know. There was that. It was a nice little. Boom.
So there was a brief moment. There's let's not lose our heads. Smash. Like, ooh. I actually half expected him to knock the guy's head off. But he spun it around. I was like, wow, that's kind of terrifying.
Deathlock didn't seem to be all that Deathlocky.
He almost
Well,
was, and then Fitz was like,
He
"No."
was gonna kill everybody.
Yeah, well, he did get zapped pretty good too, though. That probably didn't help matters. Now he's been captured
Probably.
again.
Yep.
Will I be rewarded for my compliance?
Bakshi's playing them.
Well,
Of course he
yeah.
is.
That was
I mean-
very apparent at the end.
No, I
of the
mean he was
episode.
playing War too. I really don't think.
Yeah, but
that
he's playing everybody. He's playing the what's the doctor's name?
Not Strucker.
List.
List?
List.
That's right. He's playing List too.
He
He's out
wants
for
Chris Strucker.
he wants Hydra for himself.
Of course, it could be that Ward and 33 already figured out. Oh, brainwashing doesn't actually work on him, but he's playing along as if it did.
Oh yeah. And next week's episode, well, yeah, because it's definitely gonna tie into at least the beginning of the Age of Ultron. It's all connected.
Well, let's see. Next.
Because the Avengers don't know where Strucker's hiding yet, so I'm guessing at the end of the episode, that's where Hill comes in and radios the position of Strucker's base. Because we know Avengers starts off at Strucker's base.
Yes.
It's already in progress.
So, do you think that the end of the next week's episode is actually going to have... You're just going to see the Avengers just drop in from the sky?
No, I don't
kind of
think
like
so.
kind of like what they did when Fury showed up at the end. They showed the scenes from Captain America.
It's supposed to tie
Maybe.
into the film, but I doubt that the Avengers are just going to randomly show up.
Because they tied Agents of Shield and Captain America together so nicely with that scene when they threw it all in, when they tied it all together with that end scene where it was the middle. It's like they showed you where in the timeline of Captain America all of that stuff had taken place because they showed Fury getting taken out by the Winter Soldier.
I don't remember if that particular scene that they showed in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was actually in...
Yes, because
Yes, it was.
That's right when Fury gets the bomb stuck to the bottom of his car after
Yes.
he shoots it.
No, I mean that scene where he's trying to find an exit strategy. I don't remember. Was that in Winter Soldier?
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
they get me off the grid.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
That's
That's a big part of it.
You know what? It would make sense that if they're looking for Strucker and List is looking for Strucker, it would make so much sense that they would show parts of the Avengers at the end of next week's show.
But I didn't think List was looking for Strucker. Isn't he looking for Gordon?
He's looking
For
for Gordon,
Strucker.
but the whole deal was they were for Strucker, and then they were supposed to go to Strucker.
because they were gonna drop Mike off at. Well, they've got Mike. So
See
they're gonna
that?
drop
I'm
Mike
telling
off
you.
with Strucker.
I'm telling you that it wasn't BJ Brent on the Avengers set. I think it was Deathlock.
You don't confuse those two.
From a distance?
I don't think that was from a distance, though.
It's
I
a
don't
black guy.
They're
I
both
don't know.
bald. They both like to dress in black. I mean,
You certainly don't mistake him for Mac. Mac's kind of massive. Who's bald too, but he's massive.
Apparently,
And
he
he-
can bench press a small, or a small, what was it, hatchback?
And
He's gonna be
he
Power
can't
Man.
do flips.
Kind of wonder if they're going to make him into Power Man.
You make him Power Man and not Luke Cage.
Well,
you
they
know, because
could.
we already know we're getting Luke Cage and AKA Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
And he's going to have his own show. It's all speculation. I mean, you know what? No matter how I'm going to like it. I like the fact that everybody's teaming up, and Gonzalez and Coulson have to team up.
Well, I think that
next episode.
I think that's the whole point why he turned himself in. He's like, look, I tried
Take me to your leader.
I tried to work a deal with the devil, and that burned me. I need people. I can't do this with what I can get a hold of, so I got to go to Gonzalez, and we need to straighten this crap out. He's basically, this is just my guess. He's going to go in there. He's going to say exactly what's going on. What was the toolbox about? Give all those answers that May's, being bent out of shape over. And then say, look, this is why I did it. I'm the director. Deal with it. We got work to do. It's like, I'm not the one who's focused on the powered people. I'm focused on Hydra, who is focused on the powered people. Which just means that we've got to save them to stop Hydra.
Well, once they take out List, Strucker, and Bakshi, they're pretty much clear of Hydra.
For a while. Cut off one head.
2 more tickets, please.
Ah, there he is.
They've cutting off quite a few heads.
So there's quite a few left.
Yeah, they shot Hunter right in the forehead.
Wait, what?
Holy crap. I think it is J. August Richards because he did an AMA on Reddit yesterday and somebody asked him if he's cameoing in Age of Ultron, and his only answer was, as far as Age of Ultron goes, I would do anything Joss asked me to be a part of.
Ooh. Oh, I hope they give him a good suit.
Well, he's already got a better suit.
Yeah, but you know what? When you look at the costumes that they have given all the superheroes in the movies, and you look at the character, I mean, you look at Daredevil and his costume, and because I'm sure you've seen it, even if you haven't watched the last episode, and it's all over online, no matter where you look. These guys have these really awesome looking superhero costumes, and then you got Deathlock, who's got like a plastic vest and some arm gauntlets. And back in the first season, it was bright orange, and he looked like a bumblebee.
No, his outfit is definitely improved. His whole suit, he's been upgraded.
Yes. I still don't understand why there's a T-shirt under the stuff, but I don't know.
Because he can take it off
Under
sometimes.
Armour.
Oh, and we're still going to get a
Oh.
scene at some point where Fitz is pissed that his tech was put into Deathlock without him knowing.
Not
Yeah.
now, Fitz.
Speaking of Under Armour, I don't know if you guys talked about this last week, but I heard that they were a very huge part of the Avengers
Suit design.
2. Yeah,
They did a lot
like
of the
everybody's
costume design.
suit. And like Chris Hemsworth's like, this is the first time I've worn the Thor costume and it was comfortable.
Wow.
Because apparently he was overheating the first time. And they had to actually blow a fan on him to keep him cool, or he
Well, you
would
know what?
pass out.
When it comes to all of the actors in the MCU, Hemsworth always came across as very wooden when he portrayed Thor. I don't know why. You could tell he was reading a script.
Well, he was very, the way I've heard it described, he was very Shakespearean feel in like the first one, and as he's gone on, he's moved away from that style of speech.
Where's Jane? Where's Jane Foster?
That's a good question.
I really
Because
hope they
no.
explain that one.
Is she still on Asgard? Or did they bring her
No.
back at the end of... I don't remember if they brought
She's
her
on
back.
Earth. He showed back up at her apartment.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure they're hiding her again.
She's got the Thunder God hanging out with her. What's to hide?
I don't
Yeah.
know. They talk about hiding her in... Was it Winter Soldier where they talk about hiding her?
No, Avengers.
No, Avengers. They immediately put her into hiding when Loki showed up.
Now, what was it? The fake Spider-Man scene. That was
funny.
it was well done to a point. I mean, you could see the guy's shadow on the green screen behind him, and that's how I was like, okay, you can see the guy's shadow on the building behind him. It's not right.
Have you seen the one that's actually rumored to be the middle credit scene?
Oh, with Thanos?
Yes.
Unfortunately, yes, I clicked on the link, and I'm pretty sure that is for real.
I kind of like it.
It's too short. But that means that, have you guys seen it? Have you guys clicked on anything?
No.
I
Okay.
saw part of it.
Okay, we won't. Then I won't say anything. It just leads you to believe that everything that's going on is not in the control of anybody who thinks they're in control. But that's neither here nor there. We'll have to wait to see. I really wish they would do an end thing with Spider-Man, but they haven't cast him yet.
It's on a short list.
It is on a short list now, yes. And they all look way too young.
Why? Spider-Man's supposed to be a teen.
No, those are little kids.
Yeah, like, these look like way younger than me. Maybe like 15.
That's how old he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be a sophomore in high school.
But if this is the same Spider-Man that we saw in the last two movies, he's not a sophomore.
It's
in high
not.
school.
Those two movies they are just legends, as it would be. This is a complete reboot of Spider-Man.
It didn't happen.
It did not happen. They've already confirmed that. The Amazing Spider-Man and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 do not exist within the realms of the MCU. Neither do the Tobey Maguire ones. This Spider-Man will be its own Spider-Man.
Okay.
As long as
I
we're
can-
not
I
getting
can
a whole
accept it
new.
more now.
As long as we're not getting the whole. So why did he become a hero? We know. We've known it twice now.
You know what's really funny? Out of all those kids they got up there, I think Asa Butterfield, the kid from Hugo, he's the one who should play him. He looks the youngest though. Nat Wolf,
So-
no.
So, Adam,
Yes.
if you were to go back on TV again, which one of these would you actually wear if it's a Disney thing?
Well, after I lost about, I don't know, 30 pounds. I don't know. I kind of like the Captain America one. I am looking at the Under Armour. Go to underarmour.com, alter egos.
Yeah, I'm looking at them right now.
I've worn Under Armour before. It's definitely confining.
Yeah, and I would look like
If
a
you-
10-pound sausage stuffed into a 3-pound skin.
If you wear it correctly, I know some guys though who got much larger sizes, and so it was very baggy and whatnot. It's like that kind of defeats the purpose of Under Armour.
That is the world's most expensive t-shirt, I think. Seriously, look at the dude in the Captain America one. That's not even right. He's got the Dorito the thing got down.
To what?
The shoulder to waist ratio of a Dorito.
Oh,
That's two
the Rob.
times you've used that phrase in at least
Oh,
7 days.
Alistair was the one who started that one.
Oh, it was?
I'm not the one who started that one. Apparently, several other members of the cast refer to him as Dorito.
You know what? If I were to go back on TV, I'd probably. Well, you know what? I'm not allowed to. You're not allowed to wear those. You guys saw what happened when they put the Batman one on there to blur it.
Yes,
Now,
because that was DC.
Yes, it's true. If it was Disney, I don't know. Maybe Spider-Man or the Hulk. I like the Hulk one. I don't know why.
Because it's not flamboyant and.
Yeah. Speaking
Very-
of
it's very
flamboyant, you hear
dulled
what
down.
they did to Iceman?
Oh yeah.
Yes, I'm okay.
Okay, that was a really bad segue. I am so sorry.
That was awful.
Oh, stop!
It's like, how can I be gay? My older version's not gay. This is completely different.
You know what?
Honestly, to me, it's a non-story. I don't.
It is,
understand.
complete-
I don't understand the upset. So what?
Because nerds, as much as we like to think we're precious and nice, and no, we are some mean motherfuckers.
It's not, but you know what? It's not even that. It shows that it's that you can sit there and you can beat people over the head and say, "Oh, I can't believe you're such a bigot. You're such a bigot," and then they do this, and everybody who was saying this kind of crap and showing how outstanding they were when it came to this kind of stuff, you take something that someone really cares about and you change it just a little bit. Because honestly, we talked about this off the air before the show started. They've been leading up to this for a long time.
It's been assumed for years that he's gay by a lot of people. It's just like a lot of comic book readers have just assumed he was gay for years.
But when you really think about it, if they had, I don't know, again, we talked, it's the X-Men, the comic book that was started about the bigotry and all. I mean, the whole deal of it is bigotry and people not fitting in and differences and all that kind of stuff.
Look
so
at
whoopee-doo.
Iceman's arc in the second X-Men movie. He literally comes out to his parents in that movie as a mutant.
Which was done on purpose. Because Bryan Singer is a gay man, and he did it on purpose that way to show the similarities and it was just, it's a, what was the word I used before? Allegory. X-Men is an allegory for whether it's racial bigotry or sexual bigotry or any of that kind of stuff. It's an
social
allegory.
commentary.
It's social commentary, and again, like you said, Wolfie, it's a complete non-issue. It's a non-storyline. It's like, okay, yep, and keep going. Now, if they play it up where that's all they do with it, then it becomes an issue because now all you're doing is pandering. Don't pander. It's part of the deal. Now just keep going. If they hang on the subject and make it a storyline where that's the story instead of, okay, yep, that's it, he's done, he's out, boom, go.
I've had some actually comment is like that they felt it was forced. Like this is suddenly just thrust upon everybody. Oh wow, that was bad. I apologize. I should have thought before I spoke. Let me rephrase. That basically it just was forced, and it was completely out of left field for it to be dropped right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Was there something wrong with my comment?
No.
Oh, okay. It's like I caught it
I
too
don't
late
know-
the first time.
I don't know that it comes out of left field. It comes out of the
It's doing exactly what Star Trek did, though.
the original
Well,
X-Men being transported to the future and deciding to stick around. And so, the first time that they're around these people, Jean Grey is a telepath, and also so it comes out. I mean, it doesn't seem forced necessarily unless you're considering the whole storyline of them being in the future forced.
Now, you know what? I read the pages. I haven't read the book. I read the pages that were online, and they show the actual way it was done. I was more uncomfortable with the fact that she was basically mind raping this kid, and completely without his
He pretty
knowledge
much told
or
her
acceptance.
to stop.
He said stop, and she said no. And I was like, whoa, no means no, lady, stop.
It's got dark in a hurry.
He's like, I'm saying it because you're thinking. I'm thinking it because you're saying it.
Exactly, and it was just like, get out of his head. He said no. That is a complete. It's rape.
Essentially.
When you're invading someone that way, and it's an invasion. It is an invasion, and it's wrong. And he says stop more than once in the way it's written. He tells her to stop, and she just keeps going. And I'm like, dude. So
see,
yeah.
they could have written that off as when he says stop, she could have been like, I can't control my powers like that yet.
Ugh.
Yeah, but then again, remember, it's her own dark passions that was what brought the Phoenix Force to her to begin with.
Yeah, so Jean Grey's just a bitch as it is. So I just that was it's really funny. Out of all of those, because I don't find it a big deal. They've been playing up for this for years. But it was like the way they did it and the way it was done. This poor guy who has been hiding, obviously, either from himself or other people, whatever. And this lady comes around and she starts digging in his head. And she's like, do it. Come on. Just say it. Just say it. It's like, what are you talking about? I'm in your head. I can tell it. And he's like, stop. No. Just say it. I'm already there. You're thinking it right now. And it was just like, whoa. So there you go, Marvel. Way to pull a DC.
My question is why are the original Young X-Men drawn and dressed like the Power Pack?
Ooh, because they change the X-Men's costumes like every day.
But I mean, even the art style looks like the Power Pack art style.
That is true. Interesting. I never thought about that. I gotta look back. They do look like the Power Pack. But again, for all those people out there flipping out about it, it's a non-issue. It really is. People are just weird.
Well, hell, didn't he date Cloud at one point? And isn't the whole thing about Cloud is that Cloud is a man and a woman?
Which is why I think this is where it all started. Again, they've been playing up for this for quite some time with Bobby Drake.
I know Bendis is a little upset that the pages got leaked.
Really?
Yeah, he tweeted, I swear on my dogs, I wanted the issue to come out and just be. No press, no sensational headlines, no leaks. Oh well.
Yeah, well, he that's the way to think about it because of the way the story was written. Again,
that's the way he wrote it. It's just, oh, okay. And then that's the way it should have been done, but somebody leaked the pages.
You know what's funny is, this one I had no issue with. It was when DC went back and decided they were going to start taking characters that had already been established as established characters with wives and kids and husbands and all that, and then just started going, you know what, we're going to start pandering to people. So this guy's gay and that guy's bisexual and this one, she's asexual and blah, blah, blah. I was like, what are you doing?
Catwoman is bisexual now.
Yeah, and that I think that seems more forced than what they're doing with Bobby Drake.
I don't know. I mean, the Catwoman thing, I could almost see. The one that bothered me a little bit, and I moved on from it, is the original Green Lantern.
Yeah.
Because it
was jarring.
That was way out of left field.
It was. It was like, you know what? We're gonna take this character who was an old man. We're gonna make him this young hipster dude, and he's gay, by the way.
He's fabulous.
And negated his daughter. They negated all the other storylines that came beforehand, and it just made no sense.
And it's like, if they had just introduced a new Green Lantern that was gay, it would have been like whatever. But taking one of the earliest characters from their entire, line and retconning him like that's a little strange.
It's, you know what? It's probably they're thinking as well. This is a character that not a lot of people know, and blah blah. It's like you really obviously don't know your fans. It goes along the same lines as someone saying that the Martian Manhunter is a stupid character. You really don't know the people
Oh
you're
God,
talking
let's
to.
not get into that again.
I know that was a long. Again, you don't know who you're talking to. These people eat, breathe, live this. A lot of people do. This is their escape from the real world, and they know everything. And then you're like, oh, they're not going to realize it. So I don't know. Again, it's a
Wait,
non-issue.
What? Kitty Pryde and Peter Quill are getting engaged?
No, I hadn't heard about that, but I
What?
knew that they were an item.
That'd be a fun honeymoon. He keeps falling through the bed. Would you stop?
I'm so confused.
I think it's funny.
I think there was a comic scene where she, in the midst of things, phases through the bed and the floor, and crashes into the living room while someone's in there watching TV, and all she has is a blanket from the back of the couch. And she's running through the house going, oh my god, 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 oh my god. And then it shows the next morning where they both walk into the kitchen and there's just Wolverine sitting at the table. And he looks up at them and there's like eerie silence and he goes, about time.
My
And
question,
that right there is why everybody loves Wolverine.
my question is, will she want a Jewish wedding?
L'chaim.
Thing on Jewish wedding?
Oy vey.
Well, she is Jewish.
Kitty Pryde, yeah, she is Jewish. And you know what? There was uproar when they released that too.
There's
Well,
always going to be uproar.
Well,
You're
part of
not
the-
going to make people happy.
Wasn't part of the uproar with that though because it kind of came out when she was battling Dracula?
I have to go back and look, but I'm pretty. I mean, that was ages ago, though.
I know one of the earliest mentions of it is Dracula attacks her and she holds up a cross and he goes, "You have to believe." And then she finds like her Star of David necklace or something, and that's what drives him off.
Yeah, faith is faith. That's
Yeah.
generally how it's treated. It's not specific to Christianity. It's just specific to you have faith in a power greater than yourself or us, whatever. And so if you hold up a cross or
So my belief in faith in Dracula could protect me from Dracula?
No.
I
Yeah, but
suppose.
I don't know, but Dracula, the whole storyline, he was a Christian who turned. I always thought it was the cross.
Well, I think these days it's treated as if it's you have a really strong faith in God, in a
I know
God.
I know the way that Marvel treats it is whatever religious it has to be a religious symbol that you believe in.
Oh, they're not the only ones who've done it. I mean, but it's like that's why it's kind of the common thing to treat it as now. So I suppose if you were going to hold up a plate of pasta and and use your faith in the pastafarians, I guess it works.
I love the way these conversations go off this way. This is hilarious. We're sitting here. We started off with Bobby Drake being outed on the X-Men comic book, down to whether or not you can hold up a plate of pasta to kill Dracula.
Well,
Does it have garlic?
it could have garlic.
There you go. That's how you get rid of him. It's not the pasta. It's the garlic.
Yeah, but just imagine you kill a vampire and he goes to vampire heaven or wherever, and he's like, "So how'd you die,
Vampire.
dude? You would not believe what happened to me. Why do you have a plate in your forehead? Yeah, that's a long story.
Vampire heaven. You said that. That's gotta be one of the titles of this show.
Vampire heaven.
Oh.
I don't know where
Wow.
they'd go. Honestly, gotta go somewhere, right? Purgatory? I don't know.
Wow.
Garlic Tory?
Garlic.
That would be hell. Italy.
I was going to say it smells like Italy.
Vampire Heaven or Italy?
Are there any Italian vampires? I highly doubt it.
Blah.
Everywhere the poor guy turned, he wouldn't be able to go anywhere near a restaurant or a deli or any kind of outdoor market because there'd be garlic everywhere.
I'm gonna bring home Olive Garden.
Did you hear
They
this
went to
about
the
the Olive Garden?
Picadilly.
Did you hear this about Olive Garden? They're gonna start putting iPads on the table so you can order.
A lot of restaurants are doing very similar things.
You know, it's,
Yeah.
yeah, they're getting rid of waitresses.
Well, no.
No.
If you
It's
can go to
making the ordering process simpler.
it just makes the ordering process. If you want to order things mid meal, you can tap a button to request your drinks refilled. They have it at
Ah.
Chili's right now.
Yeah, and
you know what?
it eliminates a lot of
Waiting.
errors.
I think they need to focus more on actually having Italian food than iPads.
What don't you mean Greek food?
Olive Garden?
Greek. It's more Greek in my opinion than Italian.
Yeah,
Really.
Olive Garden is supposed to actually be kind of Greekish.
Really?
Greek's food is nothing like that.
I know. I know, but
The
it's
closest
kinda,
you're gonna get to that would be the was it? Oh, it's the pasta dish. It's like basically Greek lasagna.
I know if you ask the Olive Garden themselves, they're saying,
Pasticcio.
"Oh, we're Italian."
Pasticcio.
Oh, I'm looking at the list of actors who are eyed for Spider-Man. I think one of them is the guy who played in Ender's Game, or who played Ender.
Hugo. The young kid, the really young looking one.
Yeah,
And I think he's the one who should play Peter
Yep.
Parker.
he did
looks
really
nerdy.
good as Ender.
Peter Parker's not supposed to be emo. He's not supposed to be a hip dude. He's supposed to be a nerd. He's supposed to be every kid. He's not supposed to be the popular one. He's supposed to be the kid that kind of just is.
But I want more scenes of him eating cookies like a jerk.
What?
You said he's not supposed to be emo, and in Spider-Man
No.
3, he turns emo, and they show that by him eating cookies meanly.
That's true. Well, what would you
Wow.
consider Andrew Garfield's in the first Spider-Man? He wasn't emo. What was he? He was better in the second one, but the first one, I don't know what you would consider him. Hipster? I don't know. What was he?
Whiny
Very
bitch.
sarcastic.
Yeah, he was. He was a
America.
Skywalker. Oh, I want to go to
America.
Dashi
America!
Station. It all runs back to Star Wars.
I like how I post one picture and all of a sudden you start hearing America.
Merc. You know what? Let's see. What else can we touch on? We've got like 10
You should-
minutes.
Joss
You should
Whedon.
bring- You should bring up the picture. just
We
so
still
people
have
know
to
what
talk
they're
about the
doing
Flash.
What'd you post it on Facebook or Twitter?
in here.
Oh, there you go.
He
We
posted
And we don't
on
have to
talk
talk
about
about
the Flash.
Flash. No, we
Yes,
don't.
we do. Yes,
No,
we
we
do.
don't.
I liked that episode.
That was a
The Flash?
fantastic episode.
No,
We should
you know
actually.
what? We'll touch
I was
on that
gonna
next week when they actually finish up the storyline.
I was gonna say we should probably briefly go into what we were talking about earlier about Joss Whedon, with him apparently not being a feminist.
Oh, yeah. Probably. I gotta look this up. I didn't realize that there was this big backlash.
It's something that started up rather recently, and I see it mostly on Tumblr.
I'm on Yahoo right now. Guess what the fourth top article is today?
He created Zoe. How could he not be a feminist?
Because of the way he treats the characters and I guess the actors and actresses themselves, I guess.
He likes to kill off everyone. It's not fixated on women that much.
Hardly every person that he usually kills off men. Hi, welcome to Firefly.
Well, it doesn't help that I guess he was quoted as saying, "I hate feminist."
Yeah, but where did that quote come from?
Watch Joss Whedon make the perfect speech about the word feminist. Quote, I hate feminist. Is this a good time to bring that up? Is this the right forum for that? Joss Whedon said at the beginning of his speech at an Equality Now dinner Monday. I hope I'm being clear. I didn't say I hate feminists. I said I hate feminists. I'm talking about the word.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
what was
remember
that?
reading that. Yeah. No, that's
I agree with most of what he says on that. The word has taken on a life of its own.
yeah.
It really was, and it's taken on a really bad negative.
And a good example of that is how someone took how people have been able to now take that one quote out of context and distorted against him.
Yeah.
Hi, welcome to the internet.
Yeah. Welcome to the world of the perpetually offended.
Oh, I actually saw.
Also known as America.
Actually saw something
No,
about.
actually, it's pretty much the world at this point.
Yeah.
Well, I did find an article on it,
He created
is-
Buffy the Vampire Slayer, for God's sake.
and this is the title of his from the Mary Sue, which a little dubious already. But the title is called
let's
"Reconsidering the
not
Feminism
start.
of Joss Whedon."
The Mary Sue can be a little hit or miss.
Mostly miss.
The Mary Sue has a couple of times in the articles been one of the reasons why the word feminism has taken on a bad tone. Not to say bad things about the entire writing staff over there. There have been times where it seems a little, like you said, hit and miss.
Oh, by the way, Adam, I have a new shirt you need to get.
Oh, okay.
You can probably bring it up on the stream there, but I think you'll agree that you need it.
Now, I find it really odd that we're a whole bunch of guys talking about feminism.
Why not?
Well, I don't know, because there's always going to be somebody who's going to hear this and go, "Rory, you can't talk about it, you're not a woman." And I was like, well, no,
Don't have
but
to
I don't have to be. I understand what equality is. You're equal, I'm equal.
Just
Equal.
weird.
No one's better, no one's worse.
It is weird. I've personally talked to quite a lot of feminists in my life, and I've only ever talked to one who had that concept in their head that I can't talk about it because I'm a guy.
I've been
one.
told that many times.
Well, I've only had it happen once.
And I'm
I
like,
can
well, how
talk
is that
about it,
how-
and I will.
Do we all know who you're talking about?
None of you know who I'm talking about.
No. I've actually been told from a while, it's just like, you can't talk about that stuff, you're not a woman, you don't understand. I was like, I understand what equality is. Believe me, I'm right there with you. If you're wanting more, then it's not equality. If you want to be considered the exact same, that's equality. I have no problem. Dude, I'm right there with you. I'll be holding the torch. Let's go. I'm not going to sit there and fight the other fight.
I really think the reason why people take this bad attitude towards it is because of the phrasing of the word feminism. Well, that must be female, so thereby it can only be people who are female can think about it, or you're trying to raise them up higher than men. No, that's not what feminism means at all. It's basically just treat everybody the same, which means you have to bring them up to the same level as how men are treated.
Now, I did once meet a woman that would not say the word history. She called it our story instead.
That's just stupid.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
And you hear rumors of like these women's studies professors that call it her story.
Oh, wow. Oh, that hurts. The stupid hurts.
You're going to
Really?
get such a backlash on this one.
I understand the point of view that leads to them saying that, but it just seems like it takes it a little far.
You're renaming things just to rename it. It's kind of like, PETA renaming fish sea kittens. Well, we don't like the way that word was, so we're changing it to another word. And I'm not making that up.
Sea kittens.
They have a campaign to rename fish sea kittens.
They have
have
we
a
can call
website.
them sea pussies now.
they've had that campaign for years too.
It hasn't gone away.
I'm going to start a campaign to rename cows delicious blobs of meat.
But keep in mind, this is also the company that thinks you have to kill a sheep to shear it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
So they get some
PETA itself-
famous actor, from some, show or something that I don't know, to hold up a plastic sheep that they've dolled up to look bloody.
Which, if you are getting a sheep that's bloody, you've done it wrong.
Yeah, if you cut the sheep, you did it wrong, and you're gonna get flack for it.
And you probably need new shears.
If you've done anything more than nick the sheep a little bit while shearing it, you've done something horrible.
The
And,
sheep's going to let you know.
Domestic sheep kind of sort of need to be sheared.
Oh man, somebody got into my peeps.
I can understand any of this. Any of these
That is
Wait,
so
hold on.
weird.
Randomness. What the hell?
randomness. I can understand a lot of the anger and built up tensions and stuff. I understand it. Believe me, I can understand it. But when I have had conversations with a lot of people who have a I mean, and I always looked at, well, you're a white dude. You have no idea. Of course I have an idea. I watch this. I watch the news. I hear everybody arguing. And then I look at it from the outside, being the white guy who doesn't seem to have these problems, according to you guys, or any problems in the world whatsoever. And I'm like, but you're not asking for anything but to be put up on a pedestal. That's not how this works. Equality does not mean you're better than me. It doesn't mean I'm better than you. It means everybody's the same. If you want to be better or treated better, if you're going to change the name of something to make it more better for you, you've instantly no longer wanted equality. You don't want an equal. That's my issue on this one. It's like when it came to this, and I'm reading this article right here on the Mary Sue about, and talk about pull. I can understand. Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, Buffy had some issues, and it was a dude writing a girl, but he had female writers on there too. It wasn't just him. I don't.
Yeah, I think the blowback on that is a little. I think it's a little late for one, and two, this is a guy who's working within this particular industry. There's only so far he can go. He's got to be able to sell these things to other men, essentially, in order to even get it on the air.
If they're gonna attack Joss Whedon over Buffy, then the guy that did Gravity should be attacked, because it's literally just beating the crap out of Sandra Bullock from like the moment the movie starts.
Well, she's a strong, independent woman.
Who's beating the heck out of Sandra Bullock?
Haven't you seen Gravity?
Yeah.
I see what you did there, Alistair.
I'm sorry, I had to.
Speaking of had to, I'm slight segue here. There was an instance earlier today, and I told Alistair about this, but somebody had posted on Facebook this image which had a picture of a Bible and a cell phone on it, and the caption of it read, "What if we began to treat our Bibles the way we treat our cell phones? What if we carried it with us everywhere, turned back to get it if we forgot it, checked it for messages throughout the day, used it in case of emergency, spent an hour or more using it each day?" I really had to resist replying to that person's post. Then we'd have to replace our Bibles every 2 years and sign a contract for the newer version of the iBible with a faceless and godless corporation.
Biting my lip. That's a pretty good one.
I
understand what they're saying, but your response to that one, yeah.
I knew what they were getting at. I know what the whole point of it was. That's why I didn't respond directly to it, because they would take it as an attack, and I didn't want that. It was just what hit me, and I was like, I'm just going to post that on Tumblr instead. It's safer.
Yeah.
The sort of people that post stuff like that generally don't understand snark.
I didn't even think it was all that snarky.
No, I'm not. I'm saying they don't.
In general, yeah.
They wouldn't view it as you just making a dumb joke. They would view it as an attack, like you're saying.
Yeah, they would say, well, because I'm the one who posted it, you must be making a jab at my beliefs. No, I'm not. It's just the way my mind works.
Stupidity.
No, I'm not even making a jab at that. I'm just making a joke at the expense of your message. It's nothing personal.
Talk amongst yourselves. I have to step away from my mic for a couple of seconds. I'll be right back.
Yoda lady.
Actually, it's chocolate I have to go eat.
Chocolate.
Chocolate. I shall be. Seriously, give me 1 minute. I'll be right back.
Chocolate?
I've been
Who's
eating.
gonna start counting down?
I've been eating Peeps for the last 2 minutes.
Until someone got into them.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. That was said perfectly with nobody interrupting you. I want Adam to snip that out and make a soundbite.
Fart.
Also, Roland needs a new chair. And
That actually wasn't me this time.
Really? Okay,
What?
Yeah. Okay.
Was my mic hot mic'd?
Yes, but Roland needs a new chair, and occasionally it will pick it up, and it sounds like Roland has gas.
Maybe Roland does have gas.
It's a very distinct
We are
possibility.
human beings.
Alistair, did your loot crate come in yet?
No.
Oh, damn it, my chair.
How about that Rockstar support?
Until they fix their damn issues, I'm not getting that game.
The question, Tank, is what support?
Well, apparently they've decided that since you felt like spending some money that they could just ignore you and maybe make you spend more money.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. I mean, they've cost me not only extra money that I spent on the game, but majority of my pre-order bonus has now gone and vanished.
And you can't get any response from them?
I opened my ticket 5 days ago. The last activity was 1 day ago, and all the activity is me.
You should just open a new ticket every hour on the hour.
And what
I've
if I
suggested that.
Same
I
bad
have-
channels,
I
same
op-
bad time.
I opened a community message thing so I could bring attention to the problem, and I had some guy, say, "Well, Rockstar generally ignores these when people say their tickets haven't responded. Your best bet is to, contact them on Twitter." And I responded with, "Did you even read the part of the ticket where they said twice it was being looked at, and I haven't gotten a response?"
And frankly, if you made a ticket every hour on the hour, whatever, that wouldn't work either, because most ticketing systems allow you to make a parent out of it, and so all your additional tickets would be made a child of your original ticket, and so it'd all be tied into just one ticket, and all they'd see is that this person's being highly annoying, and they'd probably be more and more inclined to not work on it anytime soon. I kind of work with help desk people.
So in other words, we need to start a Twitter campaign to harass Rockstar into fixing Alistair's account.
Well, it's
Um,
not just Alistair's either.
I almost said fisting Alistair's account, but that's what they've already done.
Here's the thing.
But Tish,
It took Rockstar. It took a campaign to get Rockstar to fix a bug that was affecting Ray Navarez Jr.'s account, and he's a very famous internet guy. So it may take that. I mean, he couldn't access his garage for like 6 months.
That's a little ridiculous. It's kind of the reason why I'm a little worried about various services that are moving away from having physical copies of things. You can get it all digitally. Well, what if they decide to stop supporting it and you had paid for that thing? Now you can't get to it. You're just out your money. And then we're like, well, too bad. You can't have it anymore.
Oh, that was good.
Really? I thought it was
Oh.
just kind of mean of me.
It felt
Oh
kind
no,
of meh.
sorry. I was just talking about the chocolate fruit dip that Missy made. Oh, that was good.
That's what we're calling it now.
Oh my.
Hey now.
Oh,
You're a
my.
rock star.
Oh, see,
We were just
talking about
Rockstar.
we have a whole thing about how feminine, blah blah blah, and you go all misogyny on me.
Oh, we need to wish George a happy birthday.
Sorry.
Oh wait, you're serious?
Inside joke. You were not there, Walter. I could seriously offend everybody who has ever listened to the Geek EZ right now, ever, and that we would never get another listener whatsoever. I'm pretty sure iTunes would pull us from their thing. I'm not going to say what I said the other day.
Shit, hold on, give me a second.
The Teed you are currently trying to reach is currently unavailable. Please
Ooh.
leave
He's
a
in
message.
Vampire Heaven.
Please leave a message after the asphyxiation.
So apparently, I need to hang out with y'all more outside of the show.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
I don't
it
know
was
joke
just
either.
a random. I showed up on. Yeah, it was just a random little. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. But
Uh,
I was in a snarky mode that day.
Oh yes, you were.
The snark is
But
strong
yes,
with this one.
we can wish Mr. Takei a happy birthday.
Happy decay to you.
You know what we did not talk about? And
Okay.
I'm trying. You know what? I'm still sitting up. I'm sitting upstairs eating this thing, going, "Dear God, why did we get on that subject? Why? That's the kind of thing. It bothers me when I talk about it because I know the backlash that can happen. Something will get heard out of context, and all of a sudden, it's all bad.
So
Well, hold on.
Going-
Just to quickly mention that would mean we'd actually get a reaction from the people listening to us. We'd actually get
That's true.
mail. We'd get Twitter,
We would.
responses.
We would. But aside, yeah. But okay, you're right.
Any
Yeah.
attention is better than no attention at this
That's
point.
true.
For the love of God, people,
I just don't.
talk to
I don't want to have to
us.
sit there and defend something that wasn't meant as any kind of offense.
I might be offending.
Okay, there you go. But you know what we didn't talk about? Galaxy Quest coming to TV.
Yeah.
There just aren't enough details yet.
No, there's not enough details. They haven't said anything whether or not it'll be a TV show, Galaxy Quest, or based on the movie. Where it's, I don't see how. I don't. How can you do that if you're not going to get the people back?
Well, let's see.
All I'm gonna say.
What's Tim
Is it-
Allen on right now?
He's got his own show on.
Last Man Standing.
That's right.
All I'm gonna say is we're probably going to hear Tade and a couple other people repeat that I'm the dude disguised as a dude, pretend to be another dude a little bit more often.
As a side note, bringing things back. I mean, you got Galaxy Quest getting its own TV show.
Yes.
You've got Fuller House.
Oh dear, did you read the
direct
synopsis
sequel
for
to
that?
Seriously?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's real.
That's gonna get so
They're bringing back DJ. They're bringing back all the two sisters,
Mary
What's
Kate
her
and
name?
Ashley?
her friend, and I guess they're gonna have cameos of the other characters and stuff like that. But the synopsis that was released was that DJ Tanner Fuller, hence Fuller House, is a mom of one pregnant with another who is now a widow. So this poor girl has not only lost her mother but her husband, and is now really dealing with all the issues involved with raising a child and another one on the way. And all, so I'm like, that doesn't sound like the Full House I remember.
Yes,
That
but the Full
sounds like
House, you
something
remember, had Uncle Jesse living in an attic that couldn't have existed.
That's true.
Somebody had posted on
He also
there.
had hair that shouldn't have existed.
So,
A friend of mine
Okay.
had posted on there.
It was also a show from a different time.
so does this mean that it's going to have Bob Saget?
Oh, Bob Saget.
As long as he doesn't do anything for cocaine.
Well, a friend of mine had posted about the whole Fuller House thing, and then what other reboots were there. And his reboot option was Home of Your Improvements. Tool Time hosts Tim Taylor, Tim Allen, and Al Borland, Richard Karn, are dead from a terrible accident involving tools. Although I kind of wonder if that isn't actually from the article that he posted.
Well, here's the thing, though. Everyone that's been that was on the show, they've flat out said there is no doing another Home Improvement because what's his name? The guy who played the next door neighbor
Is dead.
Yeah, he was such a big part of the show that it'd be impossible to do a new Home Improvement series without him.
It's
what's
very
really funny?
similar to the reason why they said there'll never be another true Babylon 5 spinoff because several of the actors have passed away.
The
And
fresher Prince
They
of
also told us
Bel-Air.
we'd never get another Star Wars movie, so
Yeah, well, the
They're not dead yet.
J.
That's true.
Michael I always mispronounce his name. I'm going to try anymore. Skaczynski, I think, is what it is.
J. Michael
Um,
Straczynski.
Straczynski. He said he pretty much doesn't want to make another full show, which is why he did Voices in the Dark over here and over there, because the actors that played Dr. Franklin and Jakar passed away.
Yes.
Which is why specifically it's mentioned in the movie that Jakar and Dr. Franklin are out beyond the rim.
Franklin died?
Yeah, the actor who played him passed
No
away. as
kidding.
well. I believe so, yeah.
I know, I just like saying his name, Andreas Katsulas. I know he died. I didn't realize that Franklin died.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool that they remastered his little wherever you go in this place speech for the intro to the Lost Tales, which is a very chilling introduction for a movie. If you
I
haven't
love the
seen it.
makeup on those. That
Why
show.
haven't we had a Babylon 5 MMORPG?
It was in development.
It had been.
Well over 10 years ago and was just canned. It pretty much suffered the same fate as Stargate. It was pretty close to being released and then was just canned. But it wasn't so much an MMO as it was a massively multiplayer online space simulator that probably would have immediately pulled in the likes of Tank.
Maybe.
You'd like to fly a Star Fury.
If you're gonna reboot stuff, that's the best way to do it. Make it a game.
Yeah, I like the idea of doing that.
Why can't they ever reboot good shows like BJ and the Bear?
I
Get
heard
out.
they're doing Airwolf, aren't they?
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
It's
There is
gonna fail.
it was the come on, man. Hawaii 5-0 came back.
This is going to bring back so many jokes for Lupin.
But no, I heard that they were talking about an Airwolf reboot. As long as they don't try to reboot the A-Team or like Miami Vice, we're fine.
Or try and reboot the reboot of the reboot of Knight Rider.
They tried that several times. Knight Rider just didn't make it.
Oh, you know what? I really wish I had the video of
They could
Hasselhoff
reboot
singing.
Viper,
Have
the
you
Knight
seen
Rider knockoff.
What was that Knight Rider spinoff that was a team of several
Team
cars?
Knight Rider?
That was cool.
Wasn't that
Yeah.
one of those
Well-
Saturday afternoon like UPN shows?
Was that
I
Afternoon
think
Delight?
so.
It was
I
the
know
early 90s.
it was pretty much had the precursor to the bus because they had that big jet with the VTOL engines.
Speaking of which, when are we actually going to get an actual bus?
What do you mean? A Geek EZ bus?
No. I mean,
With the parts are
when do
family
you
now?
think the military is actually going to get a...
It's cute. You think we don't already have something like that.
Yeah,
Well, to be fair, something of that size would require a lot
Power source alone would be
a
insane.
lot more
Mhm.
oomph than just those two extra engines in the back.
As a side note, should just mention the rumors of an Airwolf reboot, whatever, revival. False.
Really?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that's good. It just flashed across my feeds on one of the social things.
You need a reboot of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, no, we don't.
Again?
No. We don't need Scooby.
depends. Is he talking a live action
I'm talking
one?
about the cartoon.
Oh.
They've got one. They've got like
They
7.
just had Scooby Doo meets Kiss come out.
Really?
What?
Yes.
What?
I thought they'd canned that show, which was sucks.
Do they really have Casey Kasem's son doing the voice, or is it somebody else now? I mean, Don Messick's dead, Casey Kasem's dead. I mean, you can't, come on. I realize anybody can do Scooby-Doo, but only Casey Kasem could do Shaggy.
They need to reboot the other 80s helicopter show. Was it Blue
Thundar the
Thunder?
Barbarian. There's a cartoon to reboot.
Thundar.
You know
Thundercat.
what
Oh, wait,
I
we
would
already
actually
did that.
like to seen as a reboot?
SWAT cats.
Ooh, that's a good one, but no, I was gonna say Blue Falcon.
And Dino Mutt.
Blue Falcon's got a different connotation to me now.
See, I like the fact that they had Blue Falcon and Dynamite in Dexter's Lab. That was
They had him in
cool.
Birdman, too, man.
They also had him in a few episodes of Mystery Inc. Of course, that Blue Falcon was more of the Dark Knight Returns Batman.
Well, thank you for informing of that.
Thank
He
you.
also,
Hank.
Blue Falcon also shows up on Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law.
Which is why it kind of makes me chuckle now when I see that. I'm like, no, it's the hero Blue Falcon, not the army Blue Falcon.
And if I remember correctly, in Harvey Birdman, Attorney at Law, he's a Mexican lawyer who
Yes.
helps frame Birdman for Dynamite's murder so that they can throw Birdman a surprise birthday party.
Uh-huh.
It's very convoluted.
You know what they need to do?
A lot
I'm
of
gonna
things.
I'm gonna tweet this to Zack Snyder. I'm gonna have to send this out to Zack Snyder and tell him he has to do it. They have to write Zan and Jaina into the Justice League movie. But seriously, do it serious. Break it like these 2 alien kids that can change into anything, not just water and animals. Form of a bucket of water. Form of an eagle. What can we do? Put out a fire once.
It wouldn't even have to be an evil
Form of
sponge that
Wonder
defeats
Woman's
me.
tub water.
Actually, speaking of Cartoon Network, and I showed Alistair a collection of images from from apparently the Steven Universe crossover episode involving your most hated show that they have on there now, Adam.
Uncle Grandpa?
Adam hates that show with a passion.
I do.
That show is so
I'm
weird.
so confused
Which
at this
one?
point now.
Uncle Grandpa. Okay, seriously, just the name alone is incestuous.
It is the strangest show. It makes no sense whatsoever.
That and he's got a penis on his forehead or top of his head.
But
What's the show?
Uncle
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
Really? That's the
Yes,
name of the show?
That's the name,
of the show.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
Huh?
He's some weird magic dude that's everyone's uncle slash
Grandfather.
grandpa,
Yeah.
and he hangs out with a talking